So let me begin by saying good afternoon to everyone in India and good morning to all the startups who've joined from Europe. We welcome you all to this first of its kind program that is connecting and creating a platform to connect European startups to Indian investors. In all our ecosystems, as European startups and European investors, we're used to being connected with each other more regionally. And of course, Indian startups with Indian investors. But now we are all seeing that startups are going global all over the world. Investors are also beginning to look at opportunities which are outside of their regions, because today your next unicorn, your next best solution could come up anywhere in the world. And also, as we are seeing, some of the pressing problems that startups are building solutions for are really applicable and useful all over the world. So why should we just stick to our country or our region? Why shouldn't we offer our solutions where the problems exist and where the problems are growing? So with that in mind, really, it is the interest of the European Commission to create this platform to make it easier for European startups to explore new markets and then work with investors to enter these markets. I mean, most investors, whether in India or in Europe, they also play a very large role in mentoring the startups when they enter here. They want you to succeed and want you to create an impact so your business grows and their investments also get the solid returns that they're looking forward to. And to the European startups, I was just speaking to you a few minutes that we started. I'm personally very impressed with the work that all of you are doing. It seems to be very, very relevant solutions for India, be it in digital or sustainability or edutech. These are all areas which are, have growing market needs, in India. And I welcome you all to this session. May this be the beginning of a great journey for all of you here. To all of the Indian investors who are joining us today, I know many of you are already very interested in European startups. Some of you may be joining because you want to learn more. All I want to say is this is your platform to learn, and also to engage. The idea is start having these first, conversations with the European startups and working to, work along with them to figure out the best solution to actually help grow them and invest in them as well. So I'm very happy and pleased with the interest from the Indian investor community. And, I look forward to a very interesting session today. First of all, by inviting our anchor of this program, the facilitator, the enabler, the European Commission, the EU delegation in Delhi, Mr. Benoit Sorache, to say a few words about what this is all about. Benoit, over to you.
Thank you very much, Lena. I hope that you can hear me. Good morning and good afternoon to you all. So Lena introduced me. I'm Benoit Sorache, working at the delegation of the European Union here in Delhi. And we've been the initiator of this event, which is part of a bigger context. But before explaining you, let me just wish you to remain, safe and sound everywhere in Europe and India. These times are not very easy, particularly tense in India at the moment with the pandemics. But I think that it's very heartwarming to see the level of attendance today, despite these difficulties, because I think you're bringing a positive message, a message of innovation and partnership. So thank you for showing your interest on both sides. And I do understand that each of you come for very practical outcomes. And you are going to present your solutions, or you're coming to investigate and to see the opportunities to find partners. And I have no doubt that in this undertaking, Global Business Inroads will be of tremendous help to you. We've been working with them in previous programs, which were bringing together innovators. We had these incubators and accelerators being brought both on EU and India together, and it was very successful. They have a wealth of experience, and I'm sure that they will help you in the best of their abilities. But let me take just a few minutes to explain that this activity, has another dimension beyond your individual and legitimate interest. This has been created because it has also, I would say, a global and even geostrategic interest. Europe and India are finding more and more that there is more avenue to work and collaborate together. Actually, last year in July, there was a summit between Prime Minister Modi and the President of the European Commission, von der Leyen, and the European Council, Michel, where they decided to strengthen the partnership between the two blocs, and in particular by creating a digital investment forum. And the idea is to bring the two ecosystems closer together. And the idea, the reasoning behind is not only because of the economic opportunities, where we do believe that there is a complementarity of strengths between the two blocs, but we have also a similarity and convergence of approaches and values. And we find that more and more, even in the digital field, these elements are also essential, because the way that digital solutions are defined, when they would respect the individual, where they will enshrine, aspects such as privacy, for instance, or they will put the citizen at the center, of the solutions, is something which is shared on both blocks. And hence the reason why the leaders have decided that there was an avenue and a geostrategic interest in collaborating further in this digital development. Practically, this cooperation, practical cooperation, have taken a first practical, I would say, launch in October last year, where actually GBI, which is organizing this meeting, is also collaborating with Indian partners, Indian startups, to bring them to venture capitalists in Europe, and also bringing Indian digital companies to Europe. And when it was launched in October last year, my counterparts at the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology actually invited us to replicate and to do the mirroring event. And that's what we are doing now. And with Métis, so the minister, ensuring that they would do their utmost to help us bringing the European innovators into the Indian markets. And that's also very comforting for us to know that it's very important to know that the investments that can be done here, would be supported at the political level, to help this interconnection between EU and India. And what we are doing through these events, and this is just one part, because we're also organizing with GBI other events where we're bringing more B2B discussions, where Indian digital solutions are brought to Europe, or digital solution European are brought here to the Indian market. So the idea is, of course, to create this practical matchmaking, but also to learn by doing on what is working, what is necessary to improve or to facilitate these exchanges and this co-creation and this investment. So we are working on the timeline, so it's just not a one-off event. Of course, in your private and personal undertaking, GBI will accompany you after these sessions, to hopefully to create and to come to practical outcome. But also, we are going to learn from your experience and bring that together at the political level, where at the end of the year, we intend to have a meaningful digital investment forum where the two ecosystems will be brought together with this practical experience. And we hope that way to have the possibility to definitely create an acceleration of this exchange and permutation between the two blocks. So let me finish by wishing you all success and yes, positive outcome from this meeting, and counting on you also to bring back some feedback on what you liked, what you need more, because it's a journey and just not a one-off. Thank you very much. Have a good evening, afternoon, or end of morning. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Benoit. And I pick up on the point you said about the follow-up, which is very important, because after the pitch session, we'd like to, in fact, invite the investors, if you're interested in the startups, to please email us your interest so we can fix up one-to-one meetings with the startups post this session. So yes, thank you, Benoit, for bringing that up. And on that note, I'd like to kind of move on to continue with our, the European focus, and invite Jacopo Loso, who's the director of the European Business and Angel Network, to, to share a bit about the evolving European startup ecosystem, and, and how dynamic this is, and the growing interest, to look at markets and opportunities in India. Jacopo, over to you.
Hello, hi everybody. Hope you can hear me and see me well. Just wanted to share a couple of slides with you this morning. Name is Jacopo Loso, Director of the IBAN Secretariat. We are the trade body, the trade association that is representing business angel investing here in Europe since 1999 when we got started. We're based in Brussels and have a very large network which gathers mostly business angel clubs, groups of business angel investors scattered across all of Europe, and not just this continent, but also other parts of the world that are connecting with Europe for a reason or the other. Is it because of an investment they want to make, or because they want to scale in this continent? We are the voice of angel investing towards all EU institutions. As a trade body, we interface with the Commission, with the Parliament, and with all other relevant EU stakeholders. Moving along, we are really here to support angel investors become more successful in their activity, and also to drive more responsible angel investing. Now, what does that mean? Obviously, angel investors are successful whenever their startups, the companies they support are successful as well. And so with events like the one today, and with the series of initiatives we have at IBAN, we are really supporting the portfolio companies of business angels in scaling and also in exiting. But we're here also to drive more responsible investing. We believe that angels do have a true responsibility and can make a real impact with every single investment they are making in a founder that is addressing, for example, a huge societal or environmental challenge. In a nutshell, the European market since 1999 has evolved incredibly. Today, we are estimating this market to be roughly 8 billion euros in size. Angel activity in Europe is mostly measured through business angel groups that are on their end measuring, locally speaking, the investment of their community. About 800 or so million euros were invested in 2019 through angel groups in more than 3,600 different startup rounds. Overall, the market, the population of business angels that is affiliated through a group here in Europe is just north of 34,000 people, and there are roughly 400 or so clubs, networks of BAs scattered across this continent. In terms of the investment activity, well, on average, an angel investor usually invests a ticket, an individual ticket worth roughly 25,000 euros, and in a group with other angels, they typically invest in companies overall, on average, more than 200,000 euros per each company they invest in. As networks, on average in Europe, the typical club of investors is investing close to 2 million euros each year in startups. And just in terms of the stages of investment and some sectors of investment, Vast majority of all the deals take place between what we call the pre-seed and the seed stage here in Europe. So those are investment rounds that typically go up until the €500,000 mark. In terms of the trending, let's say, sectors of investment, enterprise software or ICT has been and is always the front-running sector industry for investors to invest in. Followed by fintech and actually health, which over the past couple of years has also gained a lot of traction among the angel community. Just a quick look at the demographics of the population. Still a fairly dominant, male-dominated industry, especially in Western Europe, where we see that only about 10% of women participate through angel networks in angel investing activity. Situation is slightly better in the Central and Eastern Europe, where this share is roughly 3 to 10, meaning 30% of the female participation in angel network clubs. The average age is also quite different between the East and the West of Europe. In the Western Europe, is slightly older, with an average age of just north of 60 years old, and in Eastern Europe, slightly younger population when it comes to the BAs, who are on average 43 years old. And in terms of the holding periods of investments, this is no mystery. We know that angels are in it for the long run, with typical holding periods going north of 5 years and often even more than 10 years. All right, but a little bit about us and what we do. We're really here to do the capacity building of angel communities. So this means we support them in growing their network activity, and we work also with governments in that regard. Secondly, IBAN does a lot of work when it comes to professionalizing and educating the angel investor community. And here we deliver this type of work through multiple sessions and workshops throughout the year, where we facilitate the so-called sharing of knowledge from more experienced to less experienced investors. Thirdly, we are here to connect and connect not just investors, but also investors with startups. Today is a great example of that. Fourth, we are, as a trade body in Brussels, advocating and representing this category of investors towards all EU institutions. And we do a lot of this work based on research that we produce at IBAN. But today is really about connecting entrepreneurs and with investors from different parts of the world. We believe that startups need to be global companies in order to be unicorns and to be extremely successful in what they're doing. We are here to help build some bridges between investment communities, because we believe that this can facilitate very much the scaling up journey of companies. Access to new markets is very tough. It can become a little bit of an easier thing to do when you have investors on the ground in the market you want to expand in. And so with an event like today, and in general with the series of events we're doing between Europe and India, we want to help all of our angel-backed companies in having an easier time in scaling and growing and ultimately becoming very successful. So we're super happy to have such a nice group of companies, startups here with us today. They're all looking for capital to grow and to scale, and we're extremely proud of the entrepreneurs that were selected, many of which are coming also from our community and were invested by IBAN members previously. And I hope that today they can find also some new investors in India to help them grow. So thank you everybody for this great event and for participating, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Jacopo. Thank you for letting us know about the European ecosystem, what's happening there, and also, the link up between, connecting the opportunities for the European startups now with Indian investors as well. And important message to the Indian investors is that if you want to network and get some feedback or due diligence about these startups from the European side, we are working with, we have EBAN here. They know these startups. So there is a lot of credibility and curation in the process of selecting. So if you want to connect with their co-investors as well, we would be happy to facilitate, because a lot about investment is to do with trust and relationship building, right? So if we are, it's, on one hand, the pitch session really gives you, in 1 hour information, but what we need to, it's the preparation before the event. And now what's going to happen after the event, where if you need to connect with the investors in Europe, if you need to get the due diligence done. So for the Indian investors, we'd be happy to handhold you through that process of building trust, building relationships, so that, it becomes easier to make these investments. So on that note, thanks, Jacopo. I'd want to invite now Padmaja Ruparel, who is the CEO and co-founder of the Indian Angel Network. And, this organization really represents close to 500 investors in India. And, I've been talking to Padmaja and the IN a lot about the growing interest to start looking at European startups. So Padmaja, I'd love to welcome you to say a few words about the Indian ecosystem and, the growing interest in European startups. Over to you.
Thank you, Lena, for inviting me, and really, really must congratulate you on an ever-growing bridge that you're creating between India and the continent. So congratulations on that. At each event, I think I see the numbers growing. Let me just divide this into two sessions, if I may, divide my points. India is a very nascent angel investing ecosystem. I mean, it's as young as 15 years. When we started Indian Angel Network, we actually brought in the concept of angel investing into this country. So it's as new as that. And I don't want to say I'm old, so obviously this is very new and very young. But I think what has happened over these 1.5 decades, that this concept has really, really scaled. And I will use the word startup words of saying it's moved from concept to idea. And I think there was huge execution, and it's now become a very, very scaled up opportunity in the country. It has become critical for startups to raise money from angel investors, because actually they get money from nowhere else. It's just these very successful, wealthy entrepreneurs who have built their wealth on entrepreneurship, believe in entrepreneurship, and want to engage in entrepreneurship, who are now funding these companies. So for startups, this is ideal. And for investors, this has become a critical asset class. It's established itself as the highest reward and, yes, the highest risk asset class, but it is providing the kicker in portfolios. So I think the good thing for startups is that this is a pot of money which is increasing in this country for sure, and it's actually spreading to neighboring countries as well. As we have found Lanka Angel Network, we're just working with Bangladesh Angel Network. So this is really a growing asset class in the region. The second thing that I think I'd like to also share, that at IAN, when we started, we obviously looked around the world and thought, tried to check out what are the other models. One thing that came across to us at that time, and remember this was about 1.5 decades, that most angel groups around the world were either geography specific or sector specific. So we had small groups. We saw 3 or 4 angel groups in the same city, for example. We saw angel groups either just in one sector, for example, consumer goods or biotech or health tech. So we came back, and for all of you who are from outside of India, we have a genetic problem in India. We are such a large population and so diverse and so varied that we invariably think of scale. So when we came back to think about what model we would create, we decided that we wouldn't be geography specific, or for that matter, sector specific. We would actually be geography leveraged and sector leveraged. And that's how we created a platform for angel investing, which is IEN, Indian Angel Network, which basically allows investors from around the world to invest in startups, and startups from around the world to raise monies from investors. And then post investment, really leverage these geographies and different domain expertise and people from around the world to grow their companies. And this really has worked out for us, at least, and for our investor group and our startups. So we do have companies which we've invested in at about $1 million valuation, which are now 2 billion and gone global. And the first early steps, we could help them because we had that global networks and geographically based investors from around the world. And Dhruva is a perfect example, where it was born in Pune, but its first breakthrough came in when one of our investors connected NASA into as a client, and then history was made. So I think we really believe in leveraging geography. And I thought this was I would bring this point out, because that, I think, is what this platform is trying to do, is how do you leverage geographies and therefore create cross-border investment platform. When I look at investing in the continent or in Europe, I think we haven't done that well, to be honest. We have invested in some early deals. When we started, we co-invested with a French angel group, we co-invested with a British angel group. But honestly, we haven't done as much as we thought we would, or as much as we thought we should. So there clearly is an opportunity there. And I think it's time to build that out. The second piece, I think, which we haven't mined enough, is the fact that many of our companies, India-based, and I'm just picking up an example, have the opportunity to leverage European markets, and through Europe go into US or the North American markets. I don't think we've done enough of that. On the other hand, I think though we've invested in a very few European companies, we have managed out of at least 4 of our companies which have leveraged Indian markets and our connects to get into Southeast Asia, for example. So in some ways, we have had the reverse leverage better in some. So I think this is something which is clearly has the potential, and I think we can, as a group, as people around this table, we can really architect. The second piece that I did want to also mention is I do sit as the co-chair of the Global Business Angel Network, and in fact, in our very recent board meeting, we were discussing exactly this. Today, with social distancing, not being able to travel, not being able to meet people in person, we've all gone virtual, right? And yet all of us are investing or building our startups, whichever side of the coin you look at. And we are actually seeing extremely high activity in India in the startup ecosystem. It's really booming here, be it in the number of investments, be it in the amount of investments, be it in valuations, be it in the number of exits. I mean, India has seen already 12 unicorns in this calendar year, and I think there are many more which are likely to unfurl. I honestly think there is no reason for us to remain geographic centric. We have the world is our oyster right now. And through virtual technology platforms, be it Zoom calls or virtual video calls, or whether it's through tech platforms, we can actually bring much, much more value to our companies, be wherever they may be based. It doesn't matter. And build some very valuable companies. And I personally think it's not enough to create companies with great valuations. Those are important. We're all investors. We all do want returns, and valuations is a factor. But I think there's a big opportunity to create very valuable businesses, which brings a lot of stakeholders, which is employees, customers, suppliers, and so on and so forth. We can build very valuable businesses that will run for a much longer time than just a few years or a decade or so. So I think between Europe and India, and we can extend the model around the world, I think there's a huge opportunity. This opportunity in our small cosmos at IEN, we've already started to pilot that out. We are looking at companies where, specifically in very niche sectors like biotech or health care, or very niche opportunities in security, cybersecurity, or telecom, in the which are really breaking deep tech opportunities. We're already starting to test this out. We're doing a couple of things so that I want to give you some tangible examples of what we're doing, so it leaves some thought for people around the table. Is we are reaching out to investors and domain experts around the world, irrespective of where they may be, through linkages and networks, whatever, and trying to first of all get their inputs for the propositions that we're looking. So they do help in the very early diligence. We want to know specific, especially when you look at these sectors, what's the next breaking innovation already under development, right? You don't want to be investing as angels. We want to be investing in the best of the next, not best of the best. And that's very important for us to remember. So if it's best of the next, we need to know whether it's next or it's already happening. Number two, I think when we look at companies which can scale and scale really, really globally, right? Then I think it's very important for us to understand which markets, where will it scale, what are the models, how will it scale, who are the potential customers. And the third piece, I think, which is even more important, that as you build companies which are either deep tech or scaling, how do we bring talent into those companies? Talent from around the world, be it as key management, be it as advisors, be it as mentors, call it what you may. I mean, talent is a very, very powerful resource for any company, even more powerful than funding, to my mind. How do we bring the world to work for the companies? And I think that is what we have started to already build out as a model to identify, build, access, create repositories, create documents, checklists, create diligence formats, leverage people. How do you connect with them regularly? How do you get them engaged mentally into IEN? And that's a model we are piloting right now. We've already used it for a couple of our companies, and believe me, they're working phenomenally well. Touch wood. I'm sure somewhere down the line we'll fail, but right now it's working. And when we fail, we'll only learn and evolve and improve. But I think there is a very, very solid model. And this can really go global. And we'd be very happy in any way to engage with what you are doing, Lena, with this bridge, or whether it's the European group or the Indian group, or for that matter, anybody. I think it is time to collaborate. Just the fact that we cannot meet, we are having to connect on these Zoom calls, is actually a God-sent opportunity for us to collaborate even faster, better, and more efficiently. So has the time come for two of the oldest civilizations to come together? I think so. Has the time come for two of the oldest civilizations to create a new one? I think so. So on that note, I'll stop and congratulate everybody on this session. And for entrepreneurs out there, if you have an opportunity and a product or a business which is likely to go global, look for the highest quality investor, not where he or she is based. I think that's what the message is. Thank you, Lena.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Padmaja. And just a message to all the entrepreneurs, picking up on what you're saying is that after your pitches today, your deals will be reviewed by IN and their network, of investors, and they will be giving you feedback on their interest and a way forward and so on and so forth. And thank you so much, Padmaja, for your encouraging words, for the reality check, and for what we need to do now going forward. And in the interest of time, let me hand over to Harsha for the most exciting part about today, which is the pitch session. And we're waiting to hear from the European entrepreneurs to come into India now virtually and make history. So over to you, Harsha.
Thank you, Lena, and thank you for all the speakers for joining us during the first session. Thank you, Jacopo. Thank you, Padmaja. So just a quick ground rules for the next session. So we have 7 startups that will be pitching today from Europe. They'll each have about 7 minutes to present, and then we'll have a 3-minute Q&A section. And during the Q&A section, we'll also be launching a poll question on whether the investors who are present here today would like to have more in-depth discussions with the startups. And based on your interest, we will then connect the startups with the interested investors as well. For the, Malika, can you just go to the next slide? Yeah, just wanted to mention that, yes, obviously all the participants will be muted. If you have any questions during the Q&A session for each of the startups, you can either use the chat function or you can use the Q&A section, and we will be curating the questions and asking them on behalf of the participants. With that, I would like to first invite Tarvo from Fusebox. So Malika, you can just make Tarvo a co-host. Hi, Tarvo. Good morning again.
Here.
So you should be able to share your screen now.
Yes. Just a second. I somehow cannot find. Just, I will try again.
Yeah, just check now. It should be working.
Now it's here.
Perfect.
So
just go into presentation mode.
So you can see it, yes?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Tarvo, and I am the CEO and founder of Fusebox. It is a category defining company in the field of energy. What we do, or our task is to maintain the supply and demand of electricity generation and consumption in balance. And the electricity system is very similar to human body. For example, blood pressure. That if your blood pressure is in the right level, then you feel good and your body functions as it should. But if your blood pressure is going too high or too low, then your body isn't working or functioning as it should. The same thing is with electricity system. There is this frequency. In Europe, it is 50 hertz. In some countries, it's different. But this frequency is the one that defines if the electricity system has good health or not. So if the frequency is going too high or too low, the machinery or electrical devices connected into the grid are not working well enough. And it is a problem. And when it goes too far away, then it means that blackouts will come. And blackouts we want to avoid in our body and in the electricity system. At the moment, there is a perfect storm for our company globally. It means that the electricity grid stability is decreasing all the time because we are shutting down old power plants and we are installing a lot of renewables into the electricity system. This means that there is more and more volatility in the electricity system that needs balancing. And we have favorable political and regulative changes happening so that our company can work also better in different markets. I will explain you soon what we do. And we have also supportive technological advancements going on so that we can technically do things now that we were not capable some time ago. So what Fusebox does? Fusebox is a layer between energy and balancing markets and electricity consumers, automation companies, and technology companies. Meaning that Fusebox task is to find flexibility from existing electricity consumption and provide it to the electricity system. At the moment, if the transmission system operator has a problem in the electricity system, meaning, for example, deficit of electricity, then they order more electricity production from fossil fuel generators to be added to the electricity system so that the frequency remains where it is supposed to be. Fusebox approaches it from the other side, that instead of producing more electricity into the system, we lower the demand, meaning that we connect to very many buildings and industrial sites in the country, and we are able to reduce their electricity consumption for a short period of time, 30 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 hour maybe, when the electricity system needs it, and without affecting their actual the business, what they really do. So there are other companies also globally available who do that in Australia, in Europe, in US. But what makes us special is that we are concentrating on SME loads, rather smaller kind of electricity consumers, business buildings, also other smaller industrial companies, and but we can do also large loads, of course, also. Other companies are usually focused on large loads, and it is really hard to go down to the smaller ones, as it would be hard for us to go from SME to small households, for example. What we do for the electricity consumers is that if so far electricity generators have received revenue from the transmission system operator, then now these building owners will also get revenue back from the electricity system, and they will also contribute to the reduction of CO2 emissions that we measure in real time for them also. The source of flexibility for us is generators also, HVAC systems, pumps, batteries, mills, compressors, heating devices, and so on. Electrical heating, pumping, and ventilation, there is always inertia or flexibility that we can use. We are actively trading this flexibility for grid balancing every day in Europe, and we are represented in also in Sri Lanka, in Malaysia, and in Singapore. We are also active in Australia, and we are targeting.
You have 1 minute left.
Yes, we are targeting nearby countries. So we are going to be a unicorn. We have a path to unicorn before our eyes, and it is doable, and this is our plan. So our team is capable of doing everything very business oriented. And we are currently raising for expansion reasons, And we are also looking for cooperation partners in India and nearby countries. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Tarvo, for that presentation. Just wanted to open up the floor now for any questions. Just feel free to either send them in the chat function or the Q&A section. Just want to check if there's any questions for Tarvo. In the meantime, Tarvo, just you did mention that you're already looking at the market in India. Have you already done some kind of initial homework there? What do you see as the potential in a market like India as well, or
Yes,
any other developing country market? Yeah.
Yes, for India, we have made research for different areas, and we have been in touch also with some authorities to start cooperation, and they are interested. They see that it is really needed in India also, as you also have a massive installation of renewables. And yes, it is doable for Fusebox. And the good thing is that even if the country is not using demand response or the flexibility for balancing yet, and not getting paid for that yet, then Fusebox has also tools that it makes sense for us to enter the country already before the race for the flexibility actually starts. So for us, 2 years early is perfect.
Sure. And what kind of collaborators are you looking at in these various markets? So what have your tie-ups been in the other markets, and what are you looking for in India as well?
Yeah, we are looking for automation companies who are maintaining or building automation systems in different buildings or industries. Then we are looking for energy consultancy companies. Anyway, companies who already have a large client portfolio where to go with our service as extra.
And what is your typical business model with these kind of clients?
Usually it is SaaS and it is a revenue sharing model.
Okay.
So it is in our interest to give you all the know-how and what we've learned from the market. Yeah.
Just wanted to let everybody know that the polling question is live now. So if you're interested in reaching out to Fusebox, do let us know. So we have one question from the group. Do you have any hardware installation or is only done on the software side? So are you primarily a SaaS-based system, or do you need any hardware installations as well?
We are aiming to be a SaaS only, but at the moment, as the automation systems are old in some buildings, we have hardware also that is needed in these buildings. But if they are new buildings, then it is software only.
Okay. I guess last question would be, what is the funding? What is ticket size you're looking at? Are you open to taking multiple investors on board? What are you currently looking at raising?
At the moment, we are close to closing the seed round. We are raising 1.5 million at the moment, but next year it's going to be round A for bigger expansion. So at the moment, it is last moment to jump on board with us, and also cooperation is great in India.
Great. All right. Thank you so much, Tarvo, for your time and for your pitch. Next, we would like to invite Isaac Soro, the sales director for Lupa Energy. Isaac, the floor is yours.
I am here. Yeah, I can share the screen. Let me. Can you see me?
Yes. It would be great if you could also turn on your camera if possible.
Yeah, you are. Let me see. You have stopped my video, so you have to let me in.
Malika, just make Isaac a co-host as well. So yeah, perfect.
Now, yeah, okay. Hello, everybody. Okay. Let me put it on the first slide. Can you see me? Okay. Yeah. think so.
Yeah, please go ahead, Isaac. Yeah, you can
That's
start.
perfect. Okay, let me introduce. We are only 7 minutes. Just we'll go a little bit quick and fast because there's a lot of stuff to tell you, just to catch your attention. Thank you very much for attending me for your time. Okay, I am Isaac, the sales director of Lupa, which is an automatic. Let me change the now an automotive company to respond to sustainability and economical mobility needs of these and future days through manufacturing electric vehicles, quality vehicles made in Europe and some other regions, and with the latest technology. The idea comes from our founder, which has a lot of experience developing ultimate cars like McLaren, and with an entrepreneur soul, which is controlled. Let me. Yeah, which is controlled and supported by his mentor Xavier Serra, which is a well-recognized businessman, which has been president and CEO of international companies. And this is me with an international experience on the field of sales. We have gathered great minds and expertise, people from the automotive universe who are engaged to venture together with us in this challenge. And they are all engineers, the drivers coming from companies like Ferrari, McLaren, Nissan, Renault, among others. Our engineering chiefs has a master in aeronautical science, and he has also aerospace propulsion and renewable energy experience. Okay, the secret of our differentiation, it's that we're gonna manage from the beginning the hand market, just making the reusing of the wasted batteries of the future old electric mobility cars. So we will promote the circular economy, and we will design a system that will allow the customers to buy the car with or without the battery. This is the first model we are thinking about, which is the A26. We will become with an integrated scooter inside, which will allow you to access to any international and big cities downtowns, which is being now banned of regulations. Okay, the scooter will be charged inside the car. This is some specifications of the E26. If you want to go further with more details, you can ask me on the NQ sessions. Then the second model we're thinking about is the last mile van, which will allow the companies like courier ones to enter in downtowns. Okay, regarding to the possibility of getting the car with or without the battery, we will promote the power home, which stores your energy with the old battery, so you can recharge your old Lupa's battery as at home with your sunlight. So you are using a second, you are giving your battery car a second life. Okay, this is our project timeline. We are a startup. We are now developing all the project, and we will start. We are supposed to start in 2024 to manufacture the first units. Okay. Our market and will be B2B and B2C, and we have some agreements already made with car sharing companies, with car rental companies, and courier companies, as I told you, like Amazon, Segur, and national Spanish mail, which is Correos. We have some intentions also to invest in that. And also you will see we have an agreement with the government of Uruguay. We will implant a facility in there to manufacture to LATAM zone. The development will be made here in Barcelona, in Spain, and the production will be in the west part of Spain, also in Extremadura, which they are managing to make a cluster of batteries and electric mobility. I've told you Uruguay's Latin productions. There's just a country in the Middle East which is very interested to set up everything in there also, and the sales will be made worldwide, and Latam, Asia, Southeast Asia, and Europe. You can pre-order now in the website the car from 100 euros. We won't have any showrooms or intermediaries. That will be sold online and on subscribes or attached workshops. Okay, the no brand can offer a car without the batteries like we do, and we are going to produce an affordable and sustainable car for everyone. Lupa has joined the United Nations Global Compass as a part of the commitment to sustainability. So we will promote the circular economy featuring the battery and minimum useful life of 30 years. The current indicators, important indications, and this is the trend. In 3-4 years times, the increase of sales will be at 10% more than today's, and in the future there will be a ban of the combustion vehicles. So the future is the electric one. The economical
you have 1 minute left.
Okay, this is the economical projection. So our trends are here, our turnover, and we will develop with the pre-money of 20 millions that we are asking for. You will have a return on investment on only 5 years. Okay. Why to invest in us? Because it's the present and the future of the electric mobility. We have the know-how. We are sure what we're going to evangelize the perception of a reliable, affordable electric low price, and we will contribute to a greener planet. It's time to change the rules, and we will have tax benefits and government support like Uruguay Heaven. And because of an only pre-money of 10 million euros today, we will worth 100 million euros in about 2 years' time. Okay, we have a lot of expectations on the market, and you can see, and you can ask me for all these indicators. Thank you very much indeed for your attention.
Thank you so much, Isaac, again for your time. Just wanted to again open up the Q&A section. If anybody has any questions for Isaac, please feel free to type it out in the Q&A or the chat section.
So I have one.
Yeah.
Yes, Lena.
Hi, Zach.
Hi, Lena.
Yes, hello to you. Yeah. Just wanted to check, fantastic solution, by the way, and just wanted to check if you're coming to a market like India, right? Have you thought about, if you find the right investors or partners to moving the production here as well, given the scale of the market?
We are open-minded, so we are managing solutions everywhere, because we on our runs to look for investors, we have found some investors like in Uruguay that they are going to match the whole investment in Uruguay. So we will produce in there. Because the investors are from there, we will manage the 49%, and the idea, the know-how of the development we always ours. But of course, we are open to contribute everywhere.
One more before I give the floor to Harsha. What about your patents? Do you have the patents in place?
We are still working on it. We want to this 10 million investment will give us the opportunity to patent everything. But we have, of course, the 2 first models, also 100 already made.
Okay, thank you. Harsha, over to you.
Okay, yeah. Lena, thank you.
Thank you. So you mentioned that you already raised some funding. What exactly are you looking for now in this round?
In the first round of investment, we're looking for 10 million, 10.2 million.
But are you also open to smaller ticket sizes, like if multiple investors?
Of course.
Okay. Yeah. And you also mentioned that you're selling the car without the battery. So can you also integrate third-party systems, batteries into the car, or like how does that work?
No, the battery will be always from loopers, but the natural movement of the markets there will be a standardized one, like iOS systems or the standard one, which is it's the Apple of the other system. So our standard one battery can be affordable for everyone, and at any system,
Yeah.
We're trying. Our supplier will be LG probably.
Okay. Okay. And typically, I mean, how long does it take to swap out? I mean, are you looking at also like a battery swappable option, or this is just going to be like you just put in the battery once and then you use it for a particular period of 10 years or something, and then you can repurpose the battery? Or because there's a lot of now companies also using the swappable batteries, right, where you can remove the battery once the discharge is done and put a new battery. So that's not the model you're looking at. You're looking at a 10-year, which, I mean, it's a rechargeable kind of a battery, right?
No, the battery system. You of course the first car you have to buy with an integrated battery, but you can, in less than an hour, you can change the battery to get a new Lupa car without this battery. The old one, you can put it on the power home at home, so you have 30 years more of the use of this battery. So that's the model.
Sure. Great. Thank you, Isaac, for your time. Just checking. I don't think we have any more questions right now. Thank you again for your time, and we will be in touch with you for the next steps.
Thank you.
Now I would like to invite Pia from New Nordic School. So, Maldita, you can just, yeah, perfect. Good morning, Pia. Good afternoon. Yeah.
Good afternoon.
You can share your screen.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, so good afternoon and namaste, India. Apke se hai. So my name is Pia Jormalainen. I'm co-founder and CEO of New Nordic School. And today I'm welcoming you to the future of learning. Did you know that education systems were designed more than 200 years ago to create efficient factory workers? But still today, students memorize knowledge in order to pass it well in standardized tests. And this has led to outdated, high cost, poor quality and location-bound education that actually won't help students to compete against machines, but instead leads to decrease in motivation and increases the risk of school dropouts and even suicides. And it's obvious that this kind of education systems don't prepare students for the future work life. Many edtech companies try to solve the problem by providing standalone solutions, but in fact, they are adding to the complexity and burden of teachers without solving the actual problem of outdated systems. All of this brings us a huge opportunity, and the COVID-19 outbreak forced schools worldwide to wake up to lack of working hybrid education solutions. But online learning is here to stay. However, today remote learning remains out of reach for 500 million students worldwide. Founded in 2018 in Finland, our mission is to transform outdated education systems. Our solution, the pre-K through grade 12 education system, empowers students to explore their natural creativity, discover their true passions, and shape their own future. Our system combines the renowned Finnish curriculum and enhanced by best pedagogical from around the world to provide a personalized, purposeful, and locally relevant system. And our educational system has been proven by over 30 existing partner schools or school deals, of which 14, no, today we got the 15th school deal in India closed. And the demand in India especially has grown due to the COVID-19. And currently we are building our MVP of the hybrid school solution. And with this funding we are seeking now, we will scale fast. In 5 years, 10 million students and 300,000 teachers will be on board in our hybrid schools. And by 2030, we will be a 3 billion euro business. We are introducing now our hybrid school. It's a complete future-ready educational system combining the best of online and face-to-face learning. In this system, knowledge-based subjects are easily taught online and skills and competencies face-to-face. And through AI, our solution enables schools to provide personalized, on-demand, and highly scalable learning. And this way, teachers get to focus on what really matters. And the best of all is that our hybrid school significantly lowers the cost of education while improving the educational outcomes. And our international team really knows how to do it. Our unique skill combination brings more than 100 years of experience in education, business, and technology. I have two co-founders. Janne Jormalainen, chairman of our board, is also the current president of IBAN, a serial entrepreneur and an investor. And Suzanne, the heart and brain of our educational vision, is an Indian-born international educator. We currently employ 18 employees of 6 nationalities, of which 5 are based in India. Education market is one of the fastest growing sectors globally. It's much bigger than software or media industries. There are over 2 million schools in our target market, of which 500,000 are private schools, which is our primary target. And with only 1 to 2% of market share, we would reach 2,000 to 4,000 schools in 3 to 5 years. In India, for example, the demand for new schools is over 300,000 in the next coming years. So the market potential is huge. In the beginning, we have made deals of 1 school at a time, but we are really looking for investors, like property investors who are looking to establish, for example, a chain of schools. Hybrid education is a huge opportunity globally, and in 2030, we will be a 3 billion euro business. Our revenue target for this year is a humble 500,000 euros, and our confirmed pipeline for this year is already exceeding that target. In 5 years, we will reach 470 million euros turnover. As mentioned earlier, there are excellent standalone solutions in different categories of education, but these are not solving the complete problem. So there are excellent online school initiatives, online course providers, standalone edtech solution, and so on. But New Nordic School will be the #1 player globally in providing a complete educational system that will both lower the cost and improve the quality of education. And we will welcome the best of our competitors to join us. Our business model is based on a freemium SaaS model or depending on if we're talking about physical schools.
You have 1 minute left.
Yeah, thank you. Also recurring license fees. We license our educational system to both existing and new schools. And the system consists of a future-ready curriculum, professional development, pedagogy, and a hybrid school technology. And now we are seeking 2 million euro equity for scaling. And this would be leveraged by the EIC Accelerator grant that we have applied for and Business Finland grants. And we are really looking for value-adding investors. Thank you.
Thank you, Pia, again for the presentation. You did mention that you're already looking or present in the Indian market. So what has your experience been in India so far? Like, how do you see the market? What's the community? There's a huge competition in India. There's a lot of new unicorns in the edutech market coming up in India. So how do you see the market in India and what's your experience been so far?
The experience so far has only been positive. So there's a huge demand in India for transforming the education. So Indian education system is really focusing on standardized examination today, and as well as parents, families, school owners, and authorities have realized that there's a big need for change. And the Finnish education system is renowned in India, and we have many clients who are firstly looking for Finnish education, but then the transformative angle that we take is something that they really welcome. Our competition is not really EdTech, but it's existing educational systems like CBSC or American systems or IB. Yeah. But I think that the market is huge and the demand is huge and the market is growing rapidly. So I see only opportunities. But now, of course, the COVID has taken a year from our business with India because schools have been in complete lockdown.
Yes. So just, yeah, I mean, another follow-up question, I guess, would be like, how long would it take, like, for a school, say, if they adapted your curriculum to switch over? Like, how long is that process taking?
The quickest execution that we've done took 4 months. So okay. In optimal situation, if we are starting a new school that would also have infrastructure and everything included is around 2 years. But if it's an existing school or starting school where, you know, premises and everything is already existing or identified, then less than a year.
Okay. And this would need to, I mean, and your system starts all the way from pre-K to which standard? I mean, which
K-12.
K-12. Okay. Great.
Yeah. So we have now early years education units in India, in Pune, for example, and Indore, and now we have 12 deals for K-12 schools.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So if anybody else has any other questions for Pia, please do let us know. Also, the polling question is on. If you'd like to connect with New Nordic School after this, please do let us know. I think we have one question. Yeah, we have one question from Rahul. How do you draft your curriculum? So is it based purely on the Finnish way, or like what's your how do you draft your curriculum?
So our curriculum is based on the Finnish curriculum. So we, for example, the Finnish curriculum emphasizes the future skills and core competencies. So we take those and internationalize the curriculum by taking also curriculum content from, for example, Australia and the US.
Okay. So what would you say, like, let's say one distinguishing factor between the Finnish curriculum versus what you're seeing outside in the rest of the world or in India, whether you talk about CBSE, ICSE, IB and stuff. So if maybe in a couple of sentences, what would you say is the main, let's say, USP of the Finnish curriculum?
The main USP of Finnish curriculum is the focus on future skills. So what I started my presentation with, so memorizing knowledge is not what the world needs today or tomorrow. Instead, we need a future workforce that have good social competencies and future skills like communication, creativity, and collaboration.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I guess the final question would be is how much of the 2 million have you already raised? And are you also open to multiple investors taking in smaller ticket sizes?
Absolutely, we welcome tickets at any size, basically. And we have raised, to date, we have raised 480,000 euros. And as I mentioned, EIC Accelerator, we have applied for EIC grant that would be 2.5 million, but a minimum of 1 million euro private equity is needed for this round.
Sure, great. Thank thank you so much, Pia, for your time today, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. Next, I would like to invite Charis, the founder and CEO of BAM. Charis?
Hello, can you see me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can see your screen.
Let me put also the camera here. Just a moment, give me a moment. So,
yeah,
great.
We can see you now.
Okay, amazing. Just a moment.
Share your screen. Yeah.
So first of all, congratulations to all ideas. I think I learned a lot so far. Great to see also Indian people really interested about the entrepreneurship efforts that we are doing in Europe. So let me start about BAM. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to digitalize and democratize the real estate transaction of banking assets. And our vision is to become the most trusted partner when it comes to FSIs, but also to become the indisputable leader for real estate buyers globally. And in order to build this platform, we have put some tech ethics, because we have also AI and blockchain. So we would like to make sure that we include more people, we are reliable, we are accountable, and we take very seriously the privacy and security. Regarding objective key results is profitable growth, of course, environmental impact, social impact as well, and customer excellence. So which is a problem that we are trying to solve. As you know, in European Union, and good that we have people from the Union here, according to Bloomberg, it was the non-performing loans, as we said, 1 trillion in 2018. Now with COVID, this is even more growing. So after our validation with C-level bankers from Greece and Romania, we realized that it's for real, and the people, they would like to get rid, to de-invest those real estate assets that they have, and to have back cash. And according also to a survey from Accenture, there is a lot of trapped value in the banking system. So our solution is just not a fintech product, but it has also this macroeconomic flavor that we would like to unlock this kind of trapped value in the banking systems. So we are not here to reinvent the wheel. Banks have already done some efforts. They have already developed some websites on real estate, but they are not localized, not good interface. So people come and back and forth, and it can take 6 months till to identify a good asset. Some of them, they partner with real estate agents, multinational or local, and the commission fee varies from 2 to 6%. So imagine if an asset is already lost, to give also more commission, the 6% commission, to get rid of this. And some banks in Greece, like Piraeus Bank, they have also this kind of e-auction model, which is very inefficient, just 30% of the transaction. So what we would like to do in a tweet, we help banks to de-invest their assets faster than ever, while we are engaging real estate customers to buy properties online efficiently and securely. And the market is huge. According to Bloomberg and our analysis, the TAM is 450 billion, and this is not a galaxy, it's just Europe and India and US. So what we would like to do, and according to the beachhead market that we have 6 million, we see that there is also compound annual growth rate 21% year over year. So 2 things to keep: huge market, billion market, and increasing double-digit market growth. So the competition is irrelevant, and I don't want to go to the traditional boxes, but I would like to to introduce also this kind of blue ocean framework, because we believe that at the moment there is a lot of fake information to real estate. So they have a lot of double listings, fake listings. There is a super complexity. So what we would like to do in one phrase, we would like to eliminate all of this bullshitting, if I can say, and reduce the complexity by creating a one-stop shop where we give the operational transparency to people to finalize transaction of real estate properties online sufficiently and securely. This is the team, and here I would like to speak. If I have more than 7 minutes, I can tell more about the team. One thing that connects me also with Indian culture is back in my MBA, when I did my MBA in Barcelona, I worked in Bangalore in Infosys for 3 months. And I had the opportunity to pitch also to CEO one solution on Internet of Things. So I have a bit of, kind of connection with Indian culture and Indian people by being there and fitting to their mindset. So the team, we are 5 people. 2 of us, we have MBAs from top tier business schools, and we have also the functional and the business development expertise to make this happen and to make it this big. Our marketplace is just launched. I don't want to make, to speak about each and every step of this process, of this buying customer experience process, but I would like to make sure that what we are trying to do, and we work day in and day out, is to making sure that we would like to become the Amazon of real estate transaction. As you buy a book from Amazon and you have it after 20 days in your door, we would like to make it as smooth and simple to buy a real estate property. Our traction so far, we accelerated by 3 accelerator prestigious in Romania. We backed up and we have already raised 225K that we did the alpha beta testing, and now we have also some customers on board. We are partnered with Microsoft the last 2 years from the program Microsoft for Startups, and we are awarded as a best startup, fintech startup in Greek ecosystem in terms of fintech and proptech, because as I said, we are crossed in this we are in the crossroads of 2 industries. We have already 2 customers on board: BCR, the biggest Romanian bank, and one small, more agile bank in Romania. Why I am so happy that we have this session today? I am happy because when back 1 year we planned, we did the segmentation, we had this kind of 5 segments. And after, filtering with all of this, kind of criteria, we came up to 3 segments: investment shark, diaspora seeker, and European Union visa dreamer. And putting also some key decision factor, we decided that the persona is Indian. So we believe that...
Sorry to interrupt, you have 1 minute left.
Okay, so the solution is ideal. Not just, we don't want just the money, we would like the go-to market in India. Okay, so because we can have a lot of pipeline of solutions. So here, the go-to market is organically Greece, Romania, and because we are marketplace from Greece, Romania, we populate the assets, and from markets like India, we bring the real estate buyers, and inorganically with some partnership. With COVID, we have seen how this is changing with real estate, with buying online, and we believe that it's an accelerator and not blocker. What we need is 320K for the next 18 months, and we give 16% according to the recent valuation, and the success looks like to have some MRR even in this September. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Kratzaris, for that presentation, and thank you also for finishing on time and towards the end. Just wanted to check if anybody has any questions.
I have a question for Charis. Very interesting solution, and real estate in India is a fast-growing sector, and of course, all of the issues you laid out is something that's obvious here. Who would be your target partners? I mean, if you're coming to India, right, would it be the real estate developers? I mean, investors aside, who would be your target? Who would you strategically move forward with?
Let me be very specific, because we have already discussed with the team what I would like to Indian people, and because of my MBA experience in Barcelona, I see many Indians, they want to have European Union visa. To have European Union visa, there are people like the digital nomads. They are people that there are countries actually like Greece, Spain, Portugal, that they have legislation that if you buy a real estate property in these countries, you can have also European Union visa. So the first step is to find real estate buyers from India coming in Europe, or even buying the property in Europe and getting a return on investment from the investments that they do in Europe. The second thing is to go in India and speak with banks in India that they have this kind of properties, and making sure that we are bringing from the other side money, for example, from Satya Nadella, or from people that they live in US and they would like to buy back in Hyderabad or in their hometowns. So somehow to bring the diaspora of India from other countries, the money in India when it comes to real estate. So this is our aspiration, our bold aspiration. So matching the needs, bringing the people that they have money, investing their money in real estate in their countries that they would like. And we want to democratize this because it seems that it's very, a bit of, not mafia, but a bit of, not as inclusive as we wish.
Excellent. This can be potentially game changing. Thank you.
Thanks.
And yeah, so Chris, just a follow-up question, Charles, sorry, a follow-up question. Do you also handle the money transactions through your portal, or that would go through the banks or the real estate agents?
Let me be very specific. What we would like to do is we are not payment processor because it's somehow a bit of unethical because we are cooking somehow results. I would like to make sure that the money go to the bank. They secure in the banking system. Again, the blockchain part is just infrastructure, not Bitcoin, no crypto at the moment. Only real money in the local currency. So the bank has the money, and based on their procurement policy, after 20-30 days, we take the commission. Why I would like to make sure? Because I am intending to have more gross margin. So I don't want to do a transaction of 2 million and then to get the commission, and finally the profit will be very small. So I would like to make sure that I am an agent broker, a marketplace based on commission and not a process payment solution.
So, it's basically your typical competitors, let's say, I know you know the Indian market a little bit. You've probably seen companies like Magic Bricks, Prop Tiger and things like that. So you're looking, they would be your potential clients, or would they be your potential competitors? So are you trying to mirror, build a better platform compared to what's currently happening?
Can you give an example? I didn't get your question.
in India, I'm not sure if you heard of companies like Magic Bricks or Prop Tiger and things like that, where they list properties. They do have the virtual walkthroughs and stuff like that. But yeah, obviously the transaction doesn't take place on their platform. But it's like for real estate agents, so if they want to rent out a place or if they want to sell a place, they put it up on these third-party platforms and then get inquiries through that.
So we will explore some of these partnerships in case. At the moment, what we are trying to do, as I said before, is not to be process payment company, to be a one-stop shop that you can buy through, but we don't keep the money. So in terms of competition, we don't have seen something similar in Europe. If we see something, they are more like a virtual tour doing something like this, but they are not end-to-end. So they don't have this kind of, as we aspire to do, to Amazonize the whole thing.
Sure, great. And I just want, where are you currently raising now for your next round of, what are you currently raising, looking to raise now in terms of ticket size?
Yeah, just a moment again to go back. So we raised last year 225K. We put it in the platform. Now we need this kind of 320K also for salaries. By the way, I would like to make sure that I am very transparent. At the moment, I am leading Microsoft for the last 5 years. So this is a side task. And the reason that I would like also to fully occupied on this, because just the three of us, actually two of us, we are part-time and the three full-time. We would like to make sure that we have enough money for marketing and sales to start making monthly recurring revenue, so we can quit. I can quit from Microsoft, and my other members that they work part-time, they can do the same. So we are raising 320K, and we believe that with this money we can have 3 to 5K monthly revenue, and from this money we can even grow. We have already established some VC partnership with bigger VCs from Europe, but we have this kind of 320K, which is, it's very difficult to find it in Europe at the moment. And we give 16% with a discount of 10% in terms of pre-money equity. and we give a boat position. So we would love to have a knowledgeable Indian person, so we can, make sure that we tailor our services to Indian population.
Sure. Thank you so much, Charles. Next, I would like to call Vincenzo, the CMO for Latitudo 40.
Hello, good morning. Good morning to everyone.
Morning. Good. Yeah, Vincenzo, the floor is yours. You can start.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay.
You can just go into presentation. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay. So good morning to everyone. My name is Vincenzo Vecchio, and I'm here representing Latitudo 40, which has developed a decision-making platform based on geospatial analysis. What we do is we use satellite imagery and artificial intelligence in order to create geospatial analysis to support urban planning and decision-making. The transition to smart, green, and inclusive cities is often hindered by a number of factors. First of all, data availability and consistency. Then, when you need to monitor very large areas, you either need very complex IT infrastructures, mainly IoT sensors, or data scientists who are actually able to understand and read this huge amount of data. That's why we have created a unified data analytics platform, which automatically extracts information for urban planning and decision making. What we do is we collect data from the main image resellers around the world. So we collect satellite images from many providers around the world. We then apply our artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms to these images. And the result is a very easy, understandable dashboard, which displays all this information. Our products are mainly focused on these three segments that you see here. So first of all, precision farming, urban planning, and PropTech and real estate. With Latitudo 40, it is very easy to know your city, to understand the dynamics of the evolution of your city. What we do is we are able to detect, classify, and understand a number of objects on Earth from data coming from space. So just to give you an example, we are able to identify green areas, urban heat bubbles, buildings, roads, pools, but even cars in a parking lot or on the streets. Combine this with a number of information such as green-related information, so solar panels, landfills, but also pollutions, gives you a very wide idea and of the evolution of an urban area. We have created what we have called the thematic city maps, which give you an idea of how the city is actually evolving over time. So why pollution is related to the construction of new buildings, or how temperature maps, ground temperature maps are related to pollution, and so on. Consider that there are more than 100,000 cities in Europe, and more than 12,500 cities in Europe alone are interested in smart geospatial projects. So our target is to target 4% of these cities, reaching a potential market of 45 million euros per year. While our competition is much more concentrated on analytics, data analytics, and image reselling, we have concentrated our efforts in the integration of our data into IT systems, into existing IT systems with our connectors and APIs. Why now? Well, data and in general, digital twins are indispensable for decision-making in urban planning and urban control. Also, there's a huge increase in investments in green, sustainable, and inclusive cities. That's why data from space can actually provide a huge amount of information, reducing costs for data acquisition and the time for creating geospatial analysis. Our go-to-market strategy is basically concentrating on closing contracts with urban planning and real estate B2B enterprises. We also have closed many B2G contracts with municipalities and smart city projects. We're already working with several municipalities in Italy, but also in Greece, Spain, and other European countries. Our business model is based on a subscription fee, which depends mainly on the type of service, the size of the area you're monitoring, the period of time, and the frequency of the images you're interested in. So just to give you an example, for a small city, our monthly recurring revenues is around 3,000 euros. For large cities, so more than 60 square kilometers, the range is from 8,000 to 9,000 euros per month. We were born in 2018, and our revenues have grown 400% from 2019 to 2020. And despite the difficult situation for coronavirus, our revenues are continuing to grow. The founders have more than 15 to 20 years experience in space, ICT, and image analysis. But most important, that the founders have been working together for more than 10 years now. And besides the founders, we also have brought together a younger team of now counting 8 people with very specific skills, ranging from artificial intelligence to machine learning, GIS, front-end, web backend development, and also design, because our goal is to bring Earth observation to everyone. We are now looking to close a 1.5 million euros deal.
Sorry to interrupt, you have 1 minute left.
Yep, thanks. This will be spent mainly to increase the development team to complete our urban and digital twin simulation tool, but also to increase our sales team and for marketing and go-to-market activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Vincenzo. Just want to check if anybody else has some questions. If not, can you also give us some updates, or insights into the other applications? You also mentioned that you're looking at agriculture and prop tech as well. So what has been your, what kind of applications do you have in those sectors as well?
Yeah, we've been working with some agri-tech companies, mainly to integrate our data with our APIs into their existing IT systems. And we're also working with some companies in Spain in order to integrate space data into their systems for the actuators they have, mainly water pumps. So based on the information we get from satellites, based on the vegetation indexes we're able to understand, they would like to activate their irrigation pumps, just to give you an example.
Okay, great, interesting. And have you also looked at other markets outside Europe currently, or you're just mainly focused on the European market?
Yes, actually, we are a Techstars company right now. So we are in this Techstars program, accelerator program. And of course, Techstars is a US-based organization. We have tapped into that market, and we also have some interest from Asia, from South Africa. And yes, so we began with Italy and Europe, of course, but we're extending our reach.
Sure.
I have a question. Who would be your potential partners in India? Of course, aside from the investors.
Yeah, we're looking for large enterprises, mainly system integrators who already have active contracts with public administrations. So first of all, it would be very interesting to work with large companies in India that already have contracts active and that could use Latitude 40 as an add-on service and an added value for their services.
You mean smart city contracts?
Smart city contracts, first of all, yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Just that's all the time we have now. Vincenzo, thank you so much again for your time. Next, I would like to call up Sami from Nokela.
Thank you. And could you also enable the video feed?
Yeah, 1 second. Yes. Yeah.
All right. So good afternoon. I'm Sami Toivonen, chairman of the Finnish scale-up company Nokkela. And let's walk you through our presentation. So Nokkela is offering positioning as a service. What that means is we have developed the world's best IoT-based positioning solution on top of which other applications can be built on, and we call this approach positioning as a service. We master the indoor and outdoor environments on a sort of micro positioning level. We have a resolution of less than 3 centimeters in 3D, and we can provide data feeds on positioning of assets to third-party systems. So we have been going on this track for a few years already, experimenting with our technology. What we really see now happening on the market is a fundamental shift that has been driven by a new technology called ultra-wideband, or UVB. Positioning has always been an instrumental part of IoT, but now, thanks to this development on the market, there's a dynamic like never before, which could be compared to how smartphones were revolutionized by iPhone's touchscreens. So now the same transition is happening in positioning, with previous technologies that were unable to scale or provide a viable platform are being now facing a new chance by UVB technology, and we've been one of the pioneers of this globally. We have capabilities of both software, cloud, end-to-end solution, but also the capability to design and manufacture bespoke hardware. At the moment, one of our key partners in this is an Indian company called VVDN. And we look at opportunities from IoT-enabled smart factories to places like retail or personal security, on which all of these can be solved through this technology. So to just set the ground a little bit, there have been various technologies from RFID, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth-based positioning. What is really the difference in our technology is that there's a fundamental improvement of resolution of items which we track. And also there's fundamental improvements on other key topics, such as area that we can cover, the number of items we can track, the speed, real-time, and accuracy of this signal processing, and the power consumption. So I think all of these are improved quite a bit with this technology platform. So in essence, yes, we have this technology for accurate positioning, but we also have this platform and APIs for third parties to build on, since we do not master all of these verticalized use cases on our own. We can prove that we are cost efficient in deployment. We have a scalable business, and we are already on the track of expansion globally. At the heart of our solution is, of course, the positioning platform. And some of the highlights of that are that we have a solution for retail, helping with loss prevention at physical stores, but also improving the productivity of the staff within the shop. And then there are several sort of other verticals that are then serviced by our partners. So we provide them with the platform and the technology and the data feeds, and they build their own solutions for these verticals, whether healthcare or sports gamification. An example of what our solution actually looks like is that we We have these sort of coffee cup-sized beacons that cover the area. So one beacon will cover a large area of the installation. Within that area, we can then track various assets which are tagged by our smart tag, or for the personnel, this sort of key card-looking device that you can hang around your neck. Call buttons and other devices can be connected. And what happens then is we process the actual positioning data in our cloud and distribute it to various applications, like in this case, an example of our own sales boost feature, which alerts the store staff to site when people are handling expensive items. The business model, of course, is not just the hardware and project fee, but the heavy focus is on monthly service fees. So we work with various customers and partners already. Some of these are industrial, so things like forklift tracking, people security, retail, and obviously these partners then craft their individual solutions and expand their current offering with our technology, bringing the detailed positioning into the picture. A highlight that I would like to make is that we have also this anti-COVID solution that has been very popular and protecting numerous industry plants at the moment in Finland and Ireland. It is a very sort of cheap off-the-shelf solution that we can provide, and people who are wearing these tags around their necks get an audible alert if they are too close to each other for too long. And also this can be then used for exposure tracking. So if someone is infected, we can track back the contacts that could be at risk. And as you can see, it has been productified so that it is basically just 50 euros per person, and very popular at this time. Of course, this can easily be turned into a completely different safety solution once COVID passes, so it can prevent people from being hit by moving equipment within the facility.
Sorry to interrupt, you have 1 minute left.
Yes, a key thing for us is, of course, the introduction of this technology into smartphones, which will drive scale and enable completely new applications. Apple has already started on this path to include UVB technologies. So in essence, we have a world-class solution with deep expertise in the area. Our founders initially investigated this from 2014 and then later incorporated the company, and we have the full end-to-end capability to service our customers. We want to raise from 1 to 2 million euros to support our growth. And as you can see, the market is moving and we are well aligned to capture this momentum. Our team is very capable, and in the end, the competition landscape is only taking place now. With our revenue targets, we are already growing to 1 million euros estimate this year, and we can accelerate that a lot with a potential investment. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Sami, again for the presentation. We have one question already from the attendees. Sunil would like to know, how would your product be functionally different from, like you already mentioned, Apple, but recently launched AirTags, which kind of does the similar stuff, but what would be your, let's say, USP compared to what they're doing currently?
We function in the sort of other end of the spectrum, which is the area where items are being tracked. So it could be a sort of, let's say, a logistics warehouse where pallets and assets must be tracked. So it's not in the sort of consumer end, but we hope to connect with consumer devices as the UVB chips become more prolific in them. At the moment, we are sort of operating in managed premises where the operator wants to add this kind of tracking resolution to anything that is there, from people, phones to equipment. Where Apple's approach is using this to track, let's say, the AirTag where it could be in a key ring, so you can find out where your lost keys are, but it's the same technology, the same resolution.
Great. Just want to check. You also mentioned that you also did have quite a few applications or people developing applications in terms for the COVID response. I just want to understand how has COVID also affected your business, and what are the solutions that you're developing for your applications?
So of course, COVID is not it's here temporary, but of course there could be other strains that put some pressure on vaccination. So our solution is always ready to help in those cases, and then later on provide a standard response to how do companies protect their staff from various other potential cases like COVID. So what we do is basically without any infrastructure, people just hang these tags around their neck, and the tags will alert from where they are too close to each other. And then the tags are actually manufactured at the BBD and locally. So so that is something that we can deploy instantly. And then this is also a great technology demonstrator that we will be able then to continue with the customers on how to further enhance other IoT things that they are looking at. It is just it's not a key driver of our business at the moment. It's more of a demonstrator.
Yeah, thank you. We have another question from the audience. Can other companies retrofit existing tech to employ UWB capabilities?
Yes, and we are doing that right now. So we make it very easy for them. There is an API that they receive the coordinates for the assets through us, and we manage the rest. So you can easily improve your resolution from, let's say that you know that someone is in the room, but then with our technology, you know what they are actually tinkering with. So if a customer in a store, for instance, is picking up an expensive item, we can alert the staff on site to serve them before they purchase it online with their phone. So it can be retrofitted and augmenting previous installations.
Great. And do you currently have any deployments outside Europe? You're looking at other markets as well?
There are proof of concepts in Australia, for instance, that are ongoing. So we are working with almost a limitless audience, but we need to select the partners, of course, carefully, that those partners who are dynamic enough would be prioritized. Otherwise, we would be lost with all the use cases surrounding this technology at the moment.
Sure. Great. Thank you so much again for your time, Sami, and we will get back to you with regards to the next steps. And I would finally like to call upon Ruslan, the co-founder of Vasalan.
Valosan, hello.
Valosan, sorry about that. Yes, hi Ruslan.
Hey, hello. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Ruslan. I live in Finland, originally from Russia. I would like to present you Valosan. Is an effective and efficient press relations app. We like to call it as Salesforce for news. It's a media relationship management app which follows our PR process to connect marketing and com professionals with journalists and share your story. So about our company is we are creating this as a B2B app which targets growth companies and startups and allows them to pitch their product to journalists. We have found that it's difficult to find right journalists who will be interested in your story. And Valosan solves that by creating media database with the information about journalists and articles they published. Journalists, one of the problems is journalists are constantly bombarded with spam of press releases about various products or like. So Valosan allows you to reach their inbox with something they will find very interesting and will publish as an article in their newspapers as earned media, so for free. And we see it as a result, the companies spend less money and time on marketing, on press relations, concentrate on their product and get the brand awareness, reaching more customers and investors. So why Valosan? We have 12 years of experience in press relations and public relations, and we think that press relations is the best way to get your awareness for your product and build your audience. We one of the end results of this, what we have, is get more search results about your product, about your company, and more visits to your website, and essentially more customers and more investors. Valosan developed together with San Francisco PR agency. This is a Helsinki-based company, parent company, which provides PR, comms, and marketing strategy to customers in Finland and Nordic countries. We want to have it as a subscription-based early commitment plan and discount for early adopters. Currently, we want to launch in Finland and then grow to Europe and worldwide. The Valosan is already used by the internal San Francisco PR agency team to execute campaigns for the clients. And our go-to-market, what we are looking for is previous and future customers and more companies in Finland and Europe. So it's cheaper than hiring the PR agency, but it's and kind of like it's better than the like generic tools on the market. Yeah, we have a team of 4 people, and all the San Francisco PR agency are helping us too. Juhani is a PR comms and marketing professional. Myself, I'm a full stack developer and tech co-founder for that product. Oona and Lauri are working on the brand design, service, and UX design. And we already have an app. We already have it as a closed beta, and it's consists of 2 parts. One is the web app to create and track campaigns, do the reporting stuff, and Gmail extension, which Google Mail extension, which allows you to pitch to the journalists and write them directly from the Google Mail and send these messages to the inbox, journalist inbox. So web applications allows you to create and manage campaigns, find the best journalists to connect with, and see communication history and journalist information, and see the publications the journalists have published, and see the SEO analytics informations, like how many visits, how many clicks to going to your website and to your product. And Gmail extension allows you to see the campaign, all contacts, write the messages to the journalists from the kind of template, see the information about journalists and about their articles they have written, and about tweets they have written, public information, and send press releases and follow-up messages. So features like what we kind of like distinguish Valosan is we're trying to find your right media for your product. So the really people who will be interested in your company. Contact them at the right time, so we will not ignore your message. Send them email using templates, so you will avoid the copy pasting problem of sending the wrong message to the wrong person. And we are not using the MailChimp or whatever to send these messages. So it's a personal, authentic message you send to get to the journalist. And kind of like bring it all together as once the journalists have published these publications, you can see this in the app. You can see the screenshots of this publication. You can see how much people have visited that publication. So current stage, they are in a closed beta, and we are approaching our customers
Sorry to interrupt, you have 1 minute left.
Yeah, approaching our customers to get the feedback. Marketing launch is coming in the May, and active development phase, working right now on this, internal usage by San Francisco PR agency, and doing the external demos. So we are kind of bootstrapped, and we are working based on the Business Finland grant relationship with the Business Finland, and looking for the 1 million. I'm not a super business guy, but what I was trying to find is kind of runway for 1 or 2 years, and kind of have it this year, this investment. And we plan to improve our Valosan, add 1 to more people to the team. We don't want to grow too much, and implement media monitoring and improved media database, contact database, AI, and integrations. That's it.
Great. Thank you so much, Ruslan. Just wanted to check if anybody from the audience has a question. Please feel free to type that in. Can you just maybe give us some feedback that you've received from the customers that you've already deployed the POC with? You mentioned that you got quite a bit of positive feedback, so maybe you can just give a bit of example of what kind of feedback that you received.
Yeah, so the problem what they see is that communication professionals, marketing professionals, they don't have too much time. And Valosan is saving time for that people. So we don't need to do public relations or press relations like we don't need to learn it. They just follow the process, the up kind of like step by step, and they get results.
And who are your ideal, like, let's say, target customers, right? I mean, you did mention startups and stuff, but also are the PR agencies or even journalists or customers? Do you have a separate business model for them, or what's your main, let's say, business model and customer database, ideal customer?
Yeah, we are looking for graph companies with a revenue of 1 million and more a year. So this is would be our kind of the companies who would like to grow to have more customers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to understand. What were your main types of customers that you're looking at? You're looking at small startups, or you're looking at PR agencies, or you're looking at journalists? So who are your ideal customers?
Not the New Nordic School, for example, company. They would be some of the companies which is, so basically every company who is building new product, which would be, you know, affecting our lives and our environment. Yeah.
Great. So I mean, so you have the database of journalists, or that's something that somebody else has to populate on their own?
Yeah, we have it already based on our 11 years of experience, and we are customizing that for every new customer, and also the customers can add the new contacts they have. So that's kind of how it works.
Sure. Great. I think that's the end of the time that we have for all the sessions today. Thank you again, Ruslan, and thank you again for all the speakers and the startups that presented today. So yeah, Lena, over to you, so we can just wrap up quickly. We're out of time.
Yeah, thank you, Harsha. And as Harsha said, thank you to the startups for pitching and also keeping time. Thank you to all my colleagues who have helped organize this event, and of course the European Commission to to help set up this platform that connects European startups with Indian investors in a seamless way. We have put in the chat a feedback form, which all of you, we'd really like all of you to fill up. You will also receive this as, a webinar. I mean, since you registered for this webinar, so you will receive an email. Please do share your feedback as we share. This is a platform we are all building. And, it's meant for you, the startups, as well as the investors, and we want to also find ways to improve. If there are, any suggestions that you may have, please do share them. And most importantly, if you do want to connect with the startups, we request the investors, you have our email ID, you can drop us an email, and we will facilitate meetings, one-to-one meetings for you. I understand that meetings between startups and investors are always confidential, so we'd be happy to keep those discussions private, but set them up based on your specific requests. So, thank you all for joining. I have, so Harsha, is there any other comments, points that we need to share?
No, that's it. We will,
Harsha, I think we have some questions saying that we need to give permission to fill the form. So, Subhav, if you could just make this public so people can actually fill the form.
Yeah, but we'll anyway share it on email as well.
Yeah, we'll share it on email with all of you. Sorry about that, but we will share it on email with all of you and make it also public, the link, so you could, fill up the form. Your feedback is very important. And please be rest assured there will be a follow-up to this session, and to the European startups. We are looking forward to supporting your entry into India. And you can stay close, and we will be in touch with you. So thank you so much, and have a lovely weekend, everybody. Stay safe, stay indoors, especially to all of you in India. It's a difficult time, but I think together we can tide by this as well. Happy weekend. Stay healthy. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.